Russia sold Alaska to the United States for just $7.2 million. At roughly 2 cents an acre, it sounds like one of history's worst deals. But Russia wasn't giving Alaska away. It was selling a territory it increasingly saw as expensive, vulnerable, and difficult to defend. The reason starts with the Crimean War. In 1856, Russia emerged from the war badly exposed. The conflict had shown that Russia could struggle to defend its distant territories against a major naval power. And Alaska was extremely vulnerable. Look at the map. Alaska was thousands of miles from Russia's main population centers, while British North America was right next door. If Russia ever went to war with Britain again, Alaska could be attacked or captured. Russia had another problem. Alaska wasn't making much money anymore. The Russian-American company had built its business around the fur trade, especially sea otters. But decades of hunting had devastated the population, and the trade was declining. Russia was spending money maintaining a territory that was difficult to defend and becoming less profitable. And there was one more problem. Gold and oil had not yet transformed Alaska's value. In the 1860s, Russia had no idea that Alaska would eventually become enormously valuable for its natural resources. From St. Petersburg's perspective, Alaska wasn't a future oil giant. It was a huge, cold, distant territory sitting beside a potential enemy. So Russia began looking for a buyer, and the United States made sense. Selling Alaska to America would bring Russia money, and perhaps more importantly, prevent Britain from taking it. If you were Russia in 1867, would you have sold Alaska or kept it and risked Britain taking it later? Because America almost rejected the deal anyway. The man pushing hardest for the purchase was U.S. Secretary of State William Seward. Seward believed Alaska could strengthen America's position in the Pacific and provide a strategic counterweight to British influence in North America. In 1867, Russia and the United States negotiated the sale. The price was $7.2 million. The treaty was signed, and the United States took possession of Alaska. But then Washington started having second thoughts. The purchase was widely mocked in the American press. Critics called it Seward's Folly. Another nickname was Seward's Icebox. To many Americans, Alaska looked like a frozen wilderness with little economic value. Congress eventually approved the money, but the debate showed just how unpopular the purchase was. And here's the irony. The territory Americans thought was nearly worthless would later prove to contain enormous gold deposits, major oil reserves, and immense strategic value. None of that was obvious in 1867. The people making the decision were judging Alaska based on what they knew at the time, not what we know today. Russia wasn't stupid for selling it, and America wasn't stupid for buying it. Both sides were making a strategic calculation with incomplete information. Russia wanted money and wanted Alaska out of Britain's reach. America wanted territory, Pacific access, and a stronger position in North America. The deal permanently changed the map. Russia didn't give Alaska back to America. It sold Alaska in 1867 because the territory had become difficult to defend and increasingly expensive to maintain. And America bought it for $7.2 million, without knowing just how valuable that frozen wilderness would eventually become. Subscribe for more history that explains why the map looks the way it does.